Hello everyone, my name is Alex, and I don't know if you knew this, but I love Beat Saber, and I'm not the only one. I know everybody loves Beat Saber. It's an amazing game, and it's available on multiple platforms. My first experience of them was on the PSVR, where I definitely got used to playing Beat Saber the most, but I was extremely excited when I got the Oculus Quest to lose the wires, to get the room scale tracking, to be able to move around a little bit, and have a new platform to play it on that was portable and easy to show people, and you know, I mean, it just makes sense on the Quest, right? Today I'll be reviewing my experience with these, the AMVR Beat Saber handles for Oculus Quest and Oculus Rift controllers. I actually have had a really hard time adjusting to playing on the Oculus Quest, and I think a big part of it is the way that the controllers secure the Oculus Quest controllers in a way that I would feel comfortable really ripping on these things, because I can fucking rip on the controllers playing Beat Saber. I play on Expert Plus, I'm not messing around, and to me, there's a lot of expression in Beat Saber. I really feel like the Oculus Quest controller design was holding me back in my Beat Saber playing, because until now, I've been used to being able to really flow with my wrist through my movement. Flowing through the wrist and using the controller or the Saber as an extension of my body is really contains a lot of expression, and honestly the Oculus Quest has been having a hard time picking up my really hard swings, and because of the way that I have to grip the controller and really get all the way up on this, I'm not able to flow through my wrist as well, and my movements become a lot more rigid and certainly a lot less expressive, and therefore I'm having less fun, and I'm not really being immersed in the moment, really letting go, really flowing and fucking crushing these blocks like I know I can, you know? And I might as well throw out there that the PlayStation Move controllers, still to this day in my opinion, are the most comfortable compared to all of these options, and track the best when I'm really ripping hard and really hitting that shit. But design-wise, I'm actually impressed, and it seems to be a really clever solution in the way that it holds these in. You take off the battery cover of the controller, and inside there's a little cylinder piece that the wrist strap uses to slide into the controller and hold on, and then when you put the controller cover back over it, it just stays in there that way. The AMVR Beat Saber controllers have straps on the inside of them that kind of poke up, that have a little metal cylinder on them that pull the wrist strap out of the Oculus Quest controller, replace it with this little piece, and there's a tension screw at the bottom of the handle that you can screw to the right to retract the new strap in and pull the controller into the handle. They do warn not to over tighten this on the box, so I was trying to be careful about that, but honestly it doesn't really seem like I'm able to. Once I do get it down tight, the controller does feel pretty secure in there. And like I said, I love to rip on these things, so I really put this thing through the pressure grinder. I've played a couple metal songs, I really have gone hard on these things, swinging them, and honestly, this feels so much better to me than using the Quest controllers alone playing Beat Saber. With these handles, I'm able to flow through my movements with my wrists in a way that's so much more expressive, so much more fun, and so much more natural when it comes to the idea of swinging a saber. Of course, it's not without some downsides. First of all, to take the wrist straps out of the controllers, I was a little bit scared. I almost felt like I was compromising the quality of the original wrist straps in doing so. And I can imagine that taking these off and putting them on and replacing them often would compromise the quality of the Oculus Quest wrist straps at some point. Maybe end up resulting in a tear and needing to be replaced, which of course I don't want. I like to preserve my original stuff. Secondly, it is a bit of a process to attach these things, you know, taking the wrist strap out, putting the new one in, tightening this thing. You have to tighten it quite a bit. There's like, I don't know, maybe 50 rotations or more before I finally got it to its full tension point, which isn't the worst thing in the world if it works, but it would have been nice if I could have got that done in a few less spins. It takes a little bit of a while to get that thing in there. The biggest thing that I noticed is that because this is now a cylinder, naturally I want to be able to rotate the controllers in my hand as I'm swinging around and let the handle kind of flow through with my movements. I was able to do that just fine on the PlayStation 4, and the Move controller would just kind of like wind up on my wrist, and at the end I would let go and it would just unravel. The Oculus Quest completely loses tracking when these things flip upside down. And I mean, like, it will no longer register in the movement of your arm and only the rotational axis. of the movement. So while I was getting used to using these, there was multiple times where I would fail a song because I didn't realize that I had this thing upside down. It was only afterwards that I realized that there are these stars that are printed on the top portion of the handle that indicate that the controller is facing up. And you can reach up and touch the star with your thumb to know that you have it oriented the right way without having to peek through the bottom of your headset or fail a song because all of a sudden you got it flipped upside down and you don't know what to do or what's going on. Even with the tracking issues, this is how I intend to play Beat Saber on my Oculus Quest from now on. It might be a little bit of a hassle to take these things and put them off just to play Beat Saber, but if you love the game like I do and you find as much expression and joy through the movements of this game as I do, then these handles might be the ticket to helping you reach that level of expression that you've been missing out on. The handles are color-coded, red and blue, indicating left and right, and there's a 3D printed L and R on the front of them to indicate which one goes with which controller as well, which is nice, and it looks professional and very clean. The wrist straps do tie on through the loops at the bottom of the handles, a little bit less secure than the original Oculus Quest one, so you want to make sure that those knots are really good and tight. I had one come unraveled somewhat easily. It wasn't while I was playing or anything, but you want to make sure that that's tight and make sure that these wrist straps are good. I definitely put these through the pressure test. During some of my really hard swings, you can kind of feel the controller jiggle in the end of it a little bit, which of course freaks me out slightly because these are expensive and I don't want anything to happen to my stuff. But it really does feel secure in there, and I started to feel very comfortable just letting it ride, letting it flow, just ripping on this thing pretty freaking hard. Honestly, it wasn't long before I started forgetting about it and just feeling it and enjoying Beat Saber on my Quest in a way that I haven't done without these. It takes some getting used to making sure that these stay upright, but once you figure that out, once you learn to orientate the sabers in that way, this is the ticket for sure, especially when you get to an advanced level and are really starting to flow with your movements and feel it and get on it. One of them did come loose a little bit, and I noticed that these little rubber pads on the inside of the handles that are there to kind of soften it and cushion it and make it feel more secure in there had kind of slid and gone to one side of the other one. So I ran over to the box that these came in, and lo and behold, there was a couple little replacement foam pads, peeled it out, stuck it in there, boom, softened it up, got her in there, and now it feels a lot more secure. I had a couple concerns about my crosses. These do feel longer, and obviously they are longer in your hands. You know, you're basically adding over twice the length to the controller. But I didn't have any portions where I swung. I mean, I try to be aware of that regardless, but no portions where I swung and these cracked and hit each other or anything like that. It didn't feel like the sabers were like out of my hands or anything. I thought for a second maybe it would like, you know, the distance would make me feel like I wasn't holding on to the saber, but that wasn't the case. I just choke up a little bit and it feels natural. And I start swinging and flowing, and I really love the experience. I think these are great. It almost makes me wish I had another pair of controllers that I could just leave in the handles and then have one pair that I use for everything else, which is insane. I'm not going to do that, but it kind of makes me wish I did. Should you get these? Are you a diehard Beat Saber fan? Do you feel like the Quest controllers are too small, like you're not able to express yourself while you're playing this? Absolutely. Definitely get these, and I think you, like I did, will find that these are definitely a lot more natural and feel a lot closer to what I got comfortable doing when I was playing on the PSVR. If you are a very casual Beat Saber player, you know, you don't really play to get a workout, you just kind of have fun and maybe play on easy or normal, maybe you wouldn't notice a huge difference. I don't think this is an accessory that like makes or breaks the experience for a lot of players, but for someone like me who really likes to go fucking hard on this, rip hardcore, hit the shit out of these things, swing, slam it, like go for it, I think these are the ticket. I think these are the way to do it. These are very well designed, and they fix a problem that I don't think a lot of people are about to address. So my hat goes off to AMVR for this one. All right, that's about it. If you've made it this far in the video, please give it a like. I know the creator of these products is going to be watching this review, so let us know in the comments below if this is something that you would be interested, if you'd be willing to pay $20 for this, $25 for something like this, and if so, maybe we can get these tooled and get some really high quality versions of these out there. I think you all know that I love VR, and if you love VR too, then you should definitely subscribe to my channel and other VR channels and engage with content creators, engage with other VR lovers, and let's make this community active, let's make it awesome, full of love, and full of legit people. That's it for now. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time.